Hello again. Today I am going to be making you a paleo shepherd's pie. Now if you didn't already know this, I'm half British, so I grew up eating shepherd's pie, although at the time I did not like it at all. Since then my taste buds have shifted and I find it to be a delicious meal, and it's so easy to do. So when I first decided to do this YouTube show, I asked my friends if they would watch it, because I'd want to know if I had a chance of having an audience, and one of my friends requested that I do it in a British accent because of my mother. So since this is a British dish, I'm going to honor that request, and today I will be speaking in a very poor British accent. So if you're watching across the pond, I'm very sorry if this hurts your ears. Let's begin. So today's recipe comes from my Donna Hay cookbook again, if you remember. This is where my spaghetti bolognese sauce recipe came from. So you're going to be needing... We are going to be using a tablespoon of bacon fat. You can use olive oil if you want to, but I use bacon fat because I love the flavour that it gives the meal. So that, and then you have 2 chopped onions. I promise that this time I chopped them on a steady surface and I did not drop the knife. Then we're going to do about 2 pounds of lamb. You could also use beef, but I'm in a lamb mood, so I got some lamb. So 2 pounds of lamb, 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, a 14-ounce tin of whole peeled tomatoes, 1 cup of beef stock, and then half a teaspoon of thyme, 1 dried bay leaf. Then we have frozen peas and carrots. Now instead of using mashed potatoes, which is what normally tops your shepherd's pie, I'm going to show you how to make a cauliflower mash. So to do that, you are going to need cauliflower. You could buy fresh, but I decided to get frozen since it's already chopped up and it saves you some time. So you're going to need cauliflower florets. Would you get out of here? About 1/3 of a cup of Parmesan cheese, couple tablespoons of butter. I will tell you how many I use once we get started, and a bit of milk just to give it a smooth thing. Alright, so let's begin with our mince. So first we're going to preheat the oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Now we're going to heat the bacon fat in a large pan. So once your bacon fat has heated up, now it's time to add the onions. So we're going to want to saute that for about 5 minutes until it's soft. Oh!
What did you do?
Nothing. I was stirring it and the spoon slipped.
The spoon slipped?
Okay, so now that your onions are properly sauteed, they've been sauteing for about 5 minutes now, I'm going to take your lamb or beef mince, whichever you prefer, and put it in the pan. So we can start browning it. When you brown meat, you just want to kind of continuously stir it about, chopping up the big chunks. Okay, so once your mince is browned nicely, we are going to add the tomato paste, the tomato stock, bay leaf, and thyme. So, in goes the tomato paste, then your stock, your bay leaf, your thyme, and your tin of tomatoes. Now this is a 28 can of tomatoes, so I'm only going to put about half in there, and the rest are, whoa, careful, stop there. And the rest I'm going to put back in the refrigerator. Okay, so give that a stir, and then we're going to cover and let simmer for 15 minutes. Now, if you don't have a lid for your pan, don't fret. Just put a bit of aluminium foil on it. Alright, so while that is simmering for 15 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and start the cauliflower mash. So take a lovely pot and fill it with about 1 inch to 2 inches of water. Now get a colander and place it above. I'm very fortunate where my colander fits exactly in my pot. It's quite lovely. Pour your cauliflower florets in and cover with a lid. So we're going to turn the water on so it boils, and as the water boils it will release steam and your broccoli florets will steam till perfection. Okay, so it's been about 15 minutes now, so I am going to be careful. So I'm going to uncover and add the frozen peas and carrots. Stir through and let simmer for about another 15 minutes or so until there's no more liquid. So there it is so far. Do you see how there's all that liquid? We're going to let it simmer until there's very little liquid left. Okay, so our cauliflower is done. So what we're going to do is lift it off of the pot and we are going to put it in our blender. Don't drop them. So we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of butter, about 1/4 cup of milk. To give it a bit more flavour, I'm going to add 1/2 teaspoon to a teaspoon of garlic powder. Okay, so we are going to blend this until it is smooth and almost the consistency of your regular mashed potatoes. You could also do this in a food processor and it might go by a bit quicker, but I recently dropped the top of my food processor on the floor, cracked it, and now it won't properly work, so I'm just using my blender. Okay, so add your Parmesan cheese and blend it for a bit longer. Mine's still a bit cauliflower lumpy-ish, so I want it to be smooth. Okay, so this is what your cauliflower mash is going to look like when it's done. As you can see, it closely resembles that of mashed potatoes. See? Kind of got that fluffiness. Okay, so your mince is all ready. As you can see, most of the liquid's evaporated. It's nice and ready to go in your casserole dish. Okay, so we are going to spoon the mixture into a casserole dish. Dish it down. So we put it in and it's like so. We're just going to top it with the mash. Kind of smooth it over a bit. I actually think this is the best cauliflower mash that I've ever done. Oh no! So I've forgotten to put salt in it, which is not good. Okay, don't forget to put salt in it before you put it in the pan, because now I've got to mix it all up and it's going to look funny. Oh, Roxanne. I'm going to try to scoop off the mash so I can put salt in it. Okay, so I'm going to salt it to taste. I'm just going to mix it up right in here. You really should be doing this in the pan before you've put it all in. But I am silly. Don't forget to salt your meat. If you don't add salt to your cooking, then you're not going to have any flavour. Okay, let's try this again. Mash on top. Smooth it out. Make it look nice and presentable. Alright, so here's what it's going to look like before you put it in the oven. So now we're going to put it in the oven and we're going to let it bake for about 30 minutes or so. I don't know, I might make it 20 to 25 minutes since I don't have potatoes on the top. So, in the oven we go. So I hope you've enjoyed learning how to make a paleo shepherd's pie. Try it out at home and leave me a comment telling me how it worked out for you. So I want to say thank you to everybody who has subscribed and viewed my channel so far. I'm putting out new videos every Sunday and every Wednesday. So make sure you subscribe so you can keep updated on that. So if there's any recipe that you have that you'd like to watch me make, then leave me a comment and let me know.